You know him from Taxi, Who's the Boss, and Raising Kanan. I'm talking with the legendary Tony Danza about his career, his live show, standards and stories, and what's next. Let's give it up for Brooklyn's finest, Tony Danza.
Oh, man. Yeah, you mentioned Brooklyn, East New York, baby. That's right.
Tony Danza.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Tony, when I was doing my research, I had no idea you're from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, too, East Flatbush.
Oh, no, yeah, no kidding, no kidding. I'm born on Pickett Avenue and Bobby Street.
I cannot believe you're from the hood, Tony Danza. Yeah.
Listen, you know what? My father was a garbage man for the city, and he used to have the street I lived on was his route, so he used to drop me off at school with the truck.
Wow. First off, we have
I'm a Brooklyn boy.
Yes, you are, at heart. First off, we got to talk about standards and stories. You're bringing it to Pottstown at the historic Sunnybrook Ballroom. For folks coming out, what can they expect from this show? Music, labs, personal stories, and what kind of night are you giving them?
I'm trying to give them a show, brother. You know what I mean? A real show, like where you go out and you get the whole treatment. We do a lot of music, of course, because we're doing the American Songbook. That's the standards end of it. We have different ways of doing it. We jazz it up sometimes. Got a great band. And then the stories are, like, I hate to say it, but yeah, it's basically my stories. I like to tell stories, and I got a couple of great ones, I think. And then we tap dance, and we bring out the secret weapon, the ukulele. I play the ukulele. I found out that Frank Sinatra played the ukulele, so I had to go and try and play a uke. No, I'm only kidding. But he did. By the way, his uncle gives him one when he's like 14, and he starts entertaining his family gatherings with his ukulele. That's true. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I read that. I was doing research for a show. I was right. But anyway, the one we're going to do, I'm telling you, you know what it is? It's really fun. I liken it to those old variety shows on TV where you had a host and then all different acts. Well, I'm the host and all the different acts. You know what I mean? So it depends on me, but I have a lot of fun doing it.
I love it. Thing. And the title itself is intriguing. Why was now the right time to combine music and storytelling in this format?
Well, I was trying to go out on the road. I had been out on the road doing something else, and then I was trying to get into the Carlisle here in New York City. And so I didn't have an act written. I was just, hanging out with the old act, and so I was like, and I wasn't going into the Carlisle with that. If I could get in, my manager called me and said, "Hey, we got the Carlisle." I said, "No kidding, when?" He says, 3 weeks. I said, "What do you mean 3 weeks?" I said, "What, did somebody drop out?" He goes, "You want the job or don't you?" So I sat down and I wrote this show, this Standards and Stories, and that's how it came to be. And it's been, Mother, you're a performer. You know what it feels like to go on stage, and the stuff's going to work.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like that. So I'm excited to show it off.
Now, Tony, Brooklyn raised you, and Brooklyn definitely gives people a certain toughness and charm. What lessons from growing up there still shape the man you are today?
My father was one of these guys that always had a saying for everything, Finish strong was one of his big ones, he'd say stuff like that. I'm trying to think, I think, basically, I think what Brooklyn teaches you is that you have to show up and stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, that basically is it. You got to stand up sometimes, and you always have to show up. So that's the way I look at it. And, I mean, that's how he put it to me, too, I'll be honest with you.
Tony Danza, you've had one of those careers people dream about. Taxi, Who's the Boss, Broadway, now live performance. When you look back, was there a moment where you realized, wow, this is really my life?
I am constantly grateful I'm also coming on this year. We're coming out with the 5th season of Raising Kanan.
I love you on there. Oh, I love Stephano.
Yeah. So that's coming out, and I just finished doing a play here in New York called Broken Snow. I played the Carlisle. I'm like grateful. That's all. I can't believe and Mother, believe me, I feel a tremendous urgency. That I'm running. That time is of the essence, and I want to do as much as I can for as long as I can.
Amen. You're a Brooklyn boy. Strike while the iron is hot, Tony.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of fans know lovable Tony Danza, but on Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, we got a very different side of you as Stephano. Was it fun stepping into that darker lane?
Yeah, it really was. It really was. I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. I was worried about the Italian trope. But then it was one scene, and it was with Michael Rispoli, who's a terrific actor and a friend of mine. So I said, let me go do it. Then I did it, and I came home, and I called my agent, and I said, they're not going to buy me as the bad guy. And then they offered me the part. So I stayed for 3 years, and it was the most fun because, first of all, good writing. Second of all, good production. Mm-hmm. And third of all, a great bunch of actors. And then I could sleep in my own bed because it was made in New York.
I love it. And with Raising Kanan heading into its final season, without giving too much away, what can you tease about Stephano and the chaos ahead?
I'll tell you what. This is how I've been characterizing it. So we all get together to read. Before we start an episode, we do a reading. We all get together, we sit around a table. Somebody reads the stage directions, and we go through the whole show. Well, as we were going through the show, this whole 8 episodes, it would be like, oh, no, oh, I can't, what are you kidding? Oh, I don't believe, people were blown away by just in the room. So I can't wait for the audience to see it.
Be honest, Tony Danza. When people stop you today, which role gets recognized the most? Taxi, Who's the Boss, or Raising Kanan?
I'm starting to be just about all of them, as opposed to one of them. You know what I mean? There was a time, I was all Taxi. There was a time Who's the Boss was crazy when it was big. It was really crazy. But I've been in so many things. I've been. Really, it's. I hate to say this, but it's almost 50 years. Holy mackerel! So,
what's been the biggest difference between working on classic network television and today's streaming era?
I miss pre-networks. I really do. You know why I miss it? I miss it because everybody knew everybody. It was like a real club, and I think it added to the fragmentation of our society because we used to all watch the same thing. Mm-hmm. Now we don't, and we're leaving it to streaming services who are trying to outdo each other with the most edge or the most provocative or the most, So I don't know. I kind of miss the old days. I was thinking about? I come from a generation where we made coffee and we didn't pay for television.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
You've worked with some incredible actors over the years. Who made you laugh the most when the cameras weren't rolling?
Well, Danny DeVito. I don't care what anybody says.
Hilarious.
Danny's one of the funniest.
Yes.
Hilarious. Andy Kaufman, and Judd Hirsch, too, by the way. Let me see. Let's go a little bit further up. Who was my pal? My pal was Rickles. Don Rickles was my pal. Oh, my God. He was incredible. He would say things to people you can't believe. But he'd come out. I'd open for him. He'd come out. He'd walk around the circle. He'd see somebody. He'd say to a guy, "Hey, is that your wife?" And the guy go, "Yeah." He goes, "Too bad." And he'd walk away. The guy came to see a comedy show, and you're insulting him. He was something else. He really was.
You've successfully avoided being stuck in one lane. Was there ever pressure to break away from the sitcom image and prove yourself in other roles?
Well, you know, you get what you get, and you try to make the most of it. I'm not done yet. Maybe I'll get one of those roles, but I don't mind where I am. This is not bad. That's how I feel.
Looking back over your career, what's one lesson you've learned that only comes with experience and time?
I mean it. I'd go back to that. I've been reading a lot of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic, and basically, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you. And that would be the lesson that I would go back to.
I love it. Last one, Tony. After all these years in entertainment, what still gives you that excitement to step on stage, walk into a set, and do it all over again?
I tell you something, I don't know, but boy, do I get that. I'll tell you something. I had a weird moment the other night. I was in the play, and I have to do a monologue at the top of the play, and I was waiting for the cue light to go off, and I was standing there, and I found myself saying, "I could take this guy." so in a way, I'm still back boxing, but it's a thrill. It's just a thrill to go out there and perform, and especially when you have material. I mean, when you have material, oh my goodness. Like, I've just been in this play, Broken Snow. It was so terrific. It was like a psychological thriller, and it was fun to do. It was fun to do and fun to watch the people watch it.
What's next for you? I know we got the play, we got Raising Kanan. What else is on the table?
I'm going out into the hinterlands, and then I come back July. I'm back at 54 Below, the beginning of July, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and the end of July also. But I'm also Mario Lopez and his son and I are going to do a Christmas movie called Christmas at the Starlight, and it's I'm playing the father. And we're going to tap dance, and we're going to sing, and we're going to do some Christmas songs, and see if we can come up with one of those movies that they play every year at Christmas.
I love
so
it.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going to do that. Mario's terrific. He's a good dancer, and he used to box and wrestle, so we have a lot in common. And then I'm back at the Carlisle again. I'm opening the fall season. September 9th, I think, and then I'm going to do a new show. I wrote a show called How Did the Garbage Man's Son Get to the Carlisle? It's an autobiographical show, obviously. So it's a new show, so I'm trying to do something like Standards and Stories, only I want to tell some different stories.
Let people know where they can get tickets for this one-man show in Pottstown.
Yeah, I thought that was your job.
I gotcha. Doors open at 7 p.m. You can go to souljoes.com to purchase your tickets. Tony Danza, Standards and Stories, live in Pottstown, PA, at the historic Sunnybrook Ballroom. And we cannot forget about... What?
A whole show, Mother. I mean,
a whole show.
A whole
Absolutely.
Show.
You're not going to shortchange us.
No shortchanging.
And we can't forget Season 5. I got my Kleenex ready. Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Friday, June 12th. I will be parked in front of my TV. You hear me, Stephano?
It's gonna blow your mind. I mean it. Holy mackerel.
Tony Danza, thank you so much for making my day. It was an honor chit-chatting with you.
I appreciate the time, too, Mother. Great talking to you.
Thank you so much. Continue success, my Brooklyn brother.
Thank you, sir.